Yes, people, welcome back to Never a Foul. Obviously, we're back on, the normal regime, you could say, back to like daily uploads, lives, and all that kind of stuff. I think tomorrow, back to two daily uploads plus pre-records, etc., etc. But yeah, man, we're here joined by Rory, man like Jay, and Don will be here in due time. So if you see us late, you can always spot. Well, you can always spot who it is, isn't it? So, but Don will be here. So yeah, man. My bad for being late. It is what it is. Hold that one. Today, obviously, you can see on the tabs at the bottom, we're going to be talking about Gabriel Jesus' comments. Rory can give his insight before everyone else does. And it's Bobby Firmino comparison, as Jay actually told me about it just a minute ago. And actually, you know what? I've been seeing this picture all over Twitter, to be fair, and I was wondering why. We're going to talk about Chelsea and Newcastle more in depth. Man United's injury boost, which is made me happy. Other than that, and then obviously we can do a little bit of predictions for the weekend and maybe start doing up a table where I get different panels to give me their predictions for the week. So yeah, man, make it a little bit competitive. But what are you guys saying, man? Rory hitting it off in the content game at the moment. TikTok booming, Twitter's engagements fully up, YouTube's here and there, up and coming. Yeah, man, it's all good right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I've had a pretty rough cold the last week, so content's been a bit low energy.
Oh, but, yeah, I see you there. You just waited till the international break to get ill, innit?
Yeah, it was good timing, to be fair. But yeah, hopefully the cold is going, the football is back and ready to plow
on. Jay, man, up in your brick wall settings.
It's brick waltzing. Brick waltzing. I've been carefully reading all the latest legal regulations. So the Spurs lawyer is back. I am ready with all of my terminology. I saw in the comments, guy was like, "The Tottenham lawyer's back, is he?" I was like, "Yeah." So last week, Rory, I was funny. Actually, Spurs have got some charges now, but we're not going to talk about that. That's not on discussion for today's show. But I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me.
Actually, you know what?
Nice to have you back, guys.
We might have to put that onto the agenda. I'm pretty sure Don was watching that particular stream. So
Don was salivating over the Times article. Like he's ready. He's ready to come up with a 10-point plan of why Spurs are banged to rights, but Chelsea should get off. I'm looking forward to. And before that, I love Don. He's got great energy, but you know what he's going to make us do? He's going to try and make us bend the knee to 10th place Chelsea and tell them how great they are. So I'm looking forward to that. We need Don. Bring him in.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure he'll be in the next few minutes or so. And yeah, man, he's definitely gonna check you. I know he is. He doesn't forget anything. But before you do that, guys, if you are here, if you are watching back or you're watching now and you've got an account on YouTube, it's not hard to do. But please like the video. It goes a long way. You know exactly where the like button is. You probably get asked 100 times by different streamers every time you watch a video, but it's just as important. So if it is a little reminder, if you don't mind, you know where the phone button is. But yeah, man, might as well get the ball rolling with the whole Jesus comments, which is probably going to take up a little bit of the show, I would say. Rory, man, I can't believe what I heard, but it just made my theory think I'm right, because I don't know if you was on the stream when I was saying, and I'm pretty sure we can dive into it. I said Jesus. Arteta should use Jesus as a left-sided 8 midfielder in it, and I've got a good reason why. I don't know if he was on that stream, but maybe not. But yeah, I don't know, man. Jesus says his strength is not scoring goals in his interview, which is probably not the greatest comments if you're an Arsenal fan, thinking our striker is saying that he can't really score goals like that, or it's not his strength at least. What do you make of that? Because I haven't actually discussed it once with anybody yet.
So, I mean, the quote that was doing the rounds was slightly wrong anyway. The quote that was doing the rounds was like, supposedly Jesus said, scoring goals is not my strong point. The actual thing he said, he was asked about the fact he's not scored that many goals for Brazil. He said, There are things that I don't control. I train, I look, I try, I move. I help the team. The goal is inevitable. I believe it's not my strongest point, but I score goals and I'm there to score goals. So it wasn't quite as bad as the quote was going round.
That's still
But
bad.
also, is he not just saying the same thing that every single person has been saying for like the last year? Like everyone says, Jesus isn't a good enough goal scorer. Arsenal need a proper goal scorer. Like most Arsenal fans even agree, like Jesus' strongest part of his game is not actually putting the ball in the back of the net. It's what he brings to the rest of the team. It's what it's the reason Ødegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Xhaka all scored more goals last season. And I feel like he's just acknowledged that in an interview, and everyone's lost their mind about how it's embarrassing and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, he's just said what everyone kind of has already been saying. So I don't really understand what the big issue. Like he's just a bit self-aware, right?
Even in the translation part that you said, yeah, for what I heard, Jay, I still think think it's bad, anyways. Because you know what's crazy? I was watching Filthy Fellas last night, and Darren Bent was on, and he was doing like comparisons with Defoe and all this. Like, obviously, he's bigging them up, etc., etc. But do you not back yourself regardless of the situation? Like, if you're a striker, surely you back yourself. What you said, Don, man? About time, man.
What you saying, man? I just finished the call, man. You know how it goes during the week. You know what I'm saying? Big up Rory. Big up man like Jay. Obviously, big up Cass. You know what I'm saying? It's been a dead international, man, but we're back. We're active, man. We're active,
probably one of the worst ones I've actually experienced in
bro,
forever.
It's been so bad. I literally just shut off from football and just got things done in it. You know what I mean? Around the house, just doing things away from football because it was so dead, man. But big up the chat, man. Big up the chat.
We're just talking on like Jesus' comments. So obviously, all right, let me just explain it. So Jesus' comments were obviously the blueprint was strong. His strong suit is scoring goals, but then Rory just came out and said this whole statement that he actually did say, and he said at the moment he hasn't scored a lot of goals and it's not his strong suit. Is that what you said, Rory?
He said it's not his strongest point.
It's not his strongest point.
Yeah.
But as a number 9 who wanted to play striker and go away from City and everything, I was going to say to Jay anyways first before I come to you, Doc. Do you not find that, Jay? Do you not find that a bit regardless? Do you not find that a bit mad, like for yourself?
I think
on a simplistic view of thinking your number 9 is not the strongest point.
See, I'm a talker, like I don't mind people being like inflective, like and honestly giving appraisals of themselves. I think the thing is it's like, I guess objectively, if you look at it, Jesus has said a few things now. From my point of view, anyway, this is just my personal opinion. He said a few things where there's such a thing where you can be too honest. So at the end of last season, he was talking like, oh, you know, the players didn't have the mentality, we didn't have the leaders, things like that. Now he's come out and said this. I'm not saying that it's wrong for him to be able to speak openly with the fan base or express himself honestly. But I am also saying that if you have 1 goal in 7 games, no assists, you are the central striker for a team that's aspiring to win the league. I don't think the fan base wants to hear, especially after they saw Balogun in the summer. I personally, if I was an Arsenal fan, would not want to be hearing goal scoring isn't my priority. Well, why did we sell Flo Balogun then? Why did we bring in Havertz? Why are we looking at new strikers already? And I think from a point of view of saying that he potentially was the striker who was going to lead Arsenal to the league, there's maybe more of a reflection of maybe he's not the guy who is going to be the starting number 9 when we win the league. And I think that what he's doing with these comments is he's almost, I don't know, he's breathing life into those comments. And I think you start to understand why Man City would rather play a false 9 than play him up front. You start to understand why he would find a lot of success playing on the wing. So I think he's very self-aware. I think if you're in a team with Mane and Salah, it's less important. And, you know, he's maybe being praised as being an amazing link man. And we're looking at more of his other characteristics. But I guess when you don't have that level of output from the wide players and you don't necessarily have that level of goals coming from the rest of the team, it's kind of, it can be a little, it can smart. The comment can be a bit of a slap in the face. But I've got no issue with him being honest. But maybe he's being a little bit too honest for this current period of time of what's going on with him.
What you saying,
bro.
Don? What you saying, Don? Man, that's the last
It's a
thing I
howler,
want,
bro.
man. It's a howler, isn't it?
It's a big howler, bruv. Like, listen, end of the day, Rory, I get that. Like, footballers, they're human. They need to be more open and honest. But these are conversations that you have internally. Do you get what I'm saying? These are conversations that he should be having with Mikel Arteta, the whole coaching team, even ex-players, you know, strikers that he knows that are bagsmen. Yeah, you speak with them and say, yo, you watch their movement. You say, okay, where how should I position myself in this position? You know, when Saka's making that run, what should I be doing? These are all internal things that you should be having because number one, that doesn't give the fans any confidence because already after a season of having Jesus, when you lot said he'll be this next big nine, he's going to elevate his game now, he's going to score a lot more goals, which he was last year, to be fair, before he got injured. But then again, he fell off towards the end. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You don't come out and go out there and give your fan base a lack of confidence. You're spurring rivals on as well because centre backs will be looking at things like that and thinking, yo, this guy don't trust himself in front of goal, right? So it potentially could be easier for them to mark him out of games because they're looking at him like, yo, this guy ain't no bagsman. He ain't going to score against us. That gives rivals, that gives oppositions more confidence up against the Jesus. Do you know what I'm saying? This is just not something to be saying in public, especially now when we're coming up to January, right? It's putting a lot of pressure basically on Arsenal to say, listen, go out and buy a striker because you guys have been speaking about it all season anyway. It's a howler. It's a howler for a striker whose primary job is to score goals, to come out and say that is not my strength. That is a howler. I don't care how anyone spins it. There's honesty, but certain things, keep that in-house. Do you know what I mean? Keep that in-house.
For me, in the Arsenal squad, I don't think his job is to be an out-and-out goal scorer. That's the first thing. Last season, we scored more goals in the Premier League than any season in our history with him playing in that position, where he's not an out-and-out striker and he brings everyone else into play. So I don't think you can argue that he's detrimental to our attack because he doesn't score as many goals. I mean, he got like 11 goals in 26 games last season, which wasn't awful anyway. And I just think this idea that like you can be too honest and like you said, it doesn't give confidence to Arsenal fans.
It doesn't.
Most Arsenal fans already know that he's like goal scoring isn't his best, strongest point. Like we know that he's not Haaland. He's not like that's not the style of player he is. And so the only Arsenal fans I've seen get upset by this are those that are like chronically on Twitter, and they're actually more upset at the fact that people are bantering them from other clubs on Twitter and bantering that comment. Like they're the only people that are upset about it. I don't think any actual fan who knows what Jesus' strong points are just like, yeah, fair enough, he's being honest.
But Rory, would you just accept that then? So basically what you're saying is, you know what Jesus is, you're going to accept him not being a bagsman, and you believe that if you don't sign a striker, this is going to be enough to actually get you the league. Because bro, when it comes to tight games, last year I'm watching you guys against Southampton, he struggled. You know, up against West Ham, he struggled. Do you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to tight games, bro, don't forget the second half of the season is not the same as the first half, bro. It definitely isn't. You know what I'm saying? Right? So that is the point that you're making, bro. I have to disagree with it. Like he should not be coming out and saying that. That should be something he should be working on internally.
Even the caveat in this as a Spurs fan, I've got to say, like me, I'm a big fan of originality and personality in football. I don't want players to be robots. I want them to have, you know, and Arsenal do have attacking options, you know, in Jesus, Havertz, Nketiah, Trossard, false nine. They have options. And the way that the team wants to play, like, you got to be honest with yourself and say, Harry Kane is a unicorn. You know, that you're not going to get that many players who can drop off and score goals the way that Harry Kane. So if you're looking at what Arteta wants, you can maybe say, okay, could Tony do it? He hasn't played for 6 months. Okay, who else can do it? Who else can score the level of goals but give you the Jesus link-up? Eddie can score some goals, but the link-up isn't as polished. So for me personally, I understand the issues that you've got as an Arsenal team. You could bring in someone like Watkins, but you'll lose all of the external value that Jesus has. And I think that's, like, even when I'm being tribalistic, 1 goal in 7 games, it's not good from scoring. But I see what Jesus gives the team. I see his movement. I see his off the ball running. So it's one of those where he gives a lot to the team, and he appreciates that he's never going to be a Haaland. Sometimes we can read too much into the comments. I can say, well, you've scored 1 in 7 games. You didn't have a fantastic finish last season. You scored 1 in 29 games from for Brazil. Bro, we can see that goal scoring isn't your asset right now. You don't need to highlight it and put a rod to your back. That's my issue.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
have
it
an
is.
issue with him having the conversation and saying those points, but I'm just saying he might want to protect himself because he's highlighting something that, you know, the trolls and people are going to come at him for. But I don't think he's allowed to speak his truth, if that makes sense.
For me, there's a couple of things for me. So the Haaland thing, right? Last season, City scored fewer goals in the Premier League than they did the season before when they didn't have Haaland and they did have Jesus, because Haaland comes in, scores a ton of goals, but everyone around him dries up. So that's one thing where Arsenal didn't bottle the league or whatever last season because we weren't scoring goals. You look at that Southampton game, we didn't not win that game because of Jesus. We didn't win that game because we conceded 3 goals at home to Southampton. The game against West Ham away, we were 2-0 up. Jesus scored. We drew 2-2. Defensive issues. It was defensive issues last season that cost us, not the attack. Like, we scored more goals than any Premier League season, including seasons where we've won the league. So that wasn't the issue. And the second thing, like you said, like, what do we want him to say? When he's directly asked about his goal scoring in an interview, he can either say a boring PR answer and just say, you know, I'm working hard, blah, blah, blah. He can lie straight up and be like, I'm a goal scorer, I'm a great goal scorer, or he can just be honest. And I just
but
I don't know what we want
all you can say is I want to better my tally from last year. I'm working closely with the coaching team. I'm watching videos. I'm watching other strikers. That is more of an answer that way. I'm looking at it like, raw. He understands, because we all know Jesus is not a bagsman, right? But he's trying to improve. That's the main thing that I'm trying to hear from my player. It's not even a PR thing, because these are things that they do behind closed doors.
What you've just given is an absolute PR.
It's not a PR. It's not a PR thing though, Rory, because behind closed doors, every single player, right? They have individual sessions where they watch back their games. They look at other strikers. This is common practice from academy level to, again, going all the way to the Premier League, right? This is what they do. So it's not a boring answer. I'd rather my striker be honest in a way where he's like, listen, I want to better my tally. Again, I'm improving week by week. I'm watching other strikers that I want to elevate to become in the future, because we all know that Jesus isn't a bagsman. You don't come out and say, oh, it's not my strongest point and that. I think maybe, did he speak in English in that interview? Or was it in Portuguese?
I think it was translated.
Oh, that's even worse. I thought he got lost in translation. See, certain things like that, bro. You just don't come out and say that, man. I'll be real with you. You just don't come out and say that.
I think, well, if that's the case, and obviously Arsenal are looking at a number 9, let's not go like we're not aware that they are looking for some sort of number 9, preferably maybe a target man that can do a bit of everything, which is Ivan Toney in theory, maybe a Benjamin Sesko if they want to go down that route. Like, that's not. Where does Jesus play then? Because he's not starting over Saka. People say right wing. Like, self-awareness. Why not? If you got self-awareness, why not stay at City then if you knew he was in a striker? Right wing. He can play left wing. And I think he's a baller at either side. And maybe he might be better than Martinelli. But then if you get Martinelli, you lose out on the goal aspect of Martinelli. And that's impossible to drop. There's only one position. I was going to say, there's only one.
Back up to Saka.
No, well, boy, he's not going to start over Saka. So let's ask, where is he going to start then? I'm telling you now, Don. I think you was on the stream, and I said it to these two. I'm telling you now.
I remember.
The man would be a baller. He would ball out in a left-sided 8 role for what currently Arsenal trying to do. We talk about energy. We talk about being tenacious. We're talking about just dribbling and obviously carrying a ball and everything. And then you talk about that left-handed side that Xhaka used to do. If someone's quite good on the wing as it is already,
my issue.
The Joe Linton could
let him land.
But Kaz, my only issue with what you're saying is you could be spitting like peak Jamie Carragher. However, the issue that I've got, is
that's mad.
The issue that I've got is that Smith Rowe.
Yellow card for you, bro.
So Smith Rowe is already not getting minutes in that position. Fabio Vieira is struggling to get,
because you don't like him, either.
Havertz is adapting to that. What I'm saying is that Arsenal need to just be very careful about going too mad scientist this season. You know, they've got Havertz, they've got a few different pieces they're trying to do. Just, you know, they've got the out of possession thing down. They're very hard to break down. They don't lose game state. It's like they need to not go too mad scientisty. Start playing.
Well, I think that shit's already sold. Now, proper hear me out. Yeah, Smith Rowe is going to get sold. Let's be honest. He's not getting no minutes. I think it's probably best case that he moves on and and obviously Arsenal make some money out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Havertz is a left back now. Yeah. So let's ball that off. Yeah. So where do we continue? Fabio Vieira is playing like clearly he's just not up to scratch. He had one good game, got gassed. Arsenal fans, and you know what? To be fair, he deserved a little bit of gas at that point.
Yeah. Nice game.
Was it Brentford? Anyways,
I think it was Brentford. He smashed it.
And that's that. So when you talk about experimentation, we talk about Declan Rice, whether he's going to be in a 6 or the 8. But we're talking about even temporary solution right now, and we think about the way Shaq used to play and hold the left hand side. Even when Declan Rice drives the ball, he's always on that left hand side supporting, and he's there in and about. You're telling me Jesus couldn't do that role? I'm not saying he's as great defensively as a Xhaka, but when you think of Arsenal's defense, we all say he's got better this season, right? And that's not down, and that's probably with realistically 10 men on the pitch without Havertz. Right? If Havertz can do, what can Jesus do? So that's why I say on an 8, when you think of like a Joe Linton type role, and I know he's not as big as Joe Linton, and he's obviously not as a unit, but when you talk about being nifty and keeping the ball and driving, creating chances just from the wing position alone, or even if he drove in the center as he's done the false 9 before, that's not really a bad shot. We talk about mad scientists.
It's not terrible.
Arteta is a mad scientist.
But what I'm saying is Arsenal, please don't fuck up. Listen, as a team, like as a Spurs fan who's looking down and looking up at the Newcastles and Villas.
Trossard done it in the preseason. Why can Jesus not do it?
Arsenal, do not sell Smith Rowe to Villa or Newcastle, please. Yeah, because both those teams would love to have a Smith Rowe in their team. If you send Smith Rowe to Newcastle, I'm coming for Arteta, because he's given them the profile that Newcastle lack. He's given Villa the profile that they lack. But by the same token, I'm looking at Arsenal, and they're going to see 45 million for Smith Rowe, and they're going to take it. Because why wouldn't you?
I think Villa are more suited towards that. But guys, by the way, there's over 350 of you in there. Please smash the like button. Trying to get these algorithms going back again. I know it's a bit bleak over the period of football, but look, we're here. We're back now anyways. We're going to try to give as much entertainment value as possible to you guys. Even guys that are watching it back as well, smash the like as well, because obviously you guys also count. So yeah, man, obviously I can't wait for the weekend. That's what I'm waiting for personally. But yeah, what are you gonna say, Rory? Sorry.
No, I was going to say, in pre-season, we played Trossard started as the left 8 in 2 or 3 of the games. The only thing you have to be worried about is you can't, I don't think, have Jesus or Trossard as the left 8 and Zinchenko as the left back. So I don't think you can do it, because in pre-season, Zinchenko didn't play at all. I think you have to have Tomiyasu as the left back if you do that. But I could see it working. I don't think in January we're going to go for another striker. Everything sounds like we're going for a defensive midfielder and probably another defender.
They want Luiz, in it. That's their main target, Douglas Luiz.
Well, you probably land them anyways. Kizzy says, Don, the way you're talking, you should be a finishing coach. I mean, I can't lie. If Don was to show you some of the clips that he's shown us, I mean, he wouldn't be far off the finishing part of it all. You know what I mean? About someone dragging his shirt back.
You get me? Yeah.
So, but yeah, moving on as well. 4 likes of 100. By the way, I'm going to move on to a bit of Chelsea versus Newcastle. Not more in depth, because obviously we'll do a preview tomorrow of Kendall tomorrow night and the Premier League, etc., etc. But I want to touch on it, obviously. Chelsea, Newcastle, not that how the game's going to go in itself, but Don, like Chelsea's test is like, we always talk about the test. We done it with Arsenal last year, so I got personally, for me anyways, got to keep the same energy about your test and Chelsea kicking on. Like your 11, I think quite a few of your players had some good international breaks as well again, and obviously now you want to secure a win, but at Newcastle is you could say you can see a test of character for your team, and some players still need to step up to the plate, in my opinion. Anyways, you might disagree. We're probably going to get into it, but what are you thinking, man? Like with this obviously your Chelsea team going up north.
Yeah, man. Listen, we need to come into this game we need to leave this game even with nothing less than 3 points. Because number one, Newcastle have how many injuries? I think over 10 injuries. I'm hearing at the moment as it stands. They're missing a lot of key players. Apparently they might have Isak and that back, but even so, like we should be strong enough right now. Yeah, he might not even be fit. Like, there's that, right? When we went up there last year, bro, we had a front three of Broja, Gallagher, and Mason Mount. Yeah, that's how bad we was last year. We had 12 injuries at that point as well. So this time around, bro, after that performance up against City, we can't follow it up and do what we did against Brentford. Do you know what I mean? Having a good game against Arsenal, going to Brentford and losing at home like that. We need to now follow up on that and start climbing up the table, man. Look where we are. We're 10th. Do you know what I'm saying? That's disgusting. I'm glad. I'm glad that graphics there. Hey Jay, I'm glad that graphics there. You know, we're 10th, bro. We're 10th. Do you know what I mean? We could end up.
Someone earlier said, I think it was Pac-Man. He was saying, "No, please remove that table."
No. Don't leave it, bro.
Do people like that? Come on, man.
Leave it there. I want every single player right now at my club to be looking at that table and look at themselves in the mirror, right, and realize where they are right now, because it's not good enough. Yeah. So the next few games, Newcastle, Brighton, United, I'm expecting to get at least 7 points. Yeah, in these games, at least 7. At least 7 points in these three games. Yeah. For me, there should be all W's. In all honesty, the way United are playing right now, Brighton haven't been great. They haven't got a win in 2 months, I'm hearing. That's crazy. And then Newcastle, they're deflated right now. So I'm expecting all W's. And we've got hold on, Jay, bro. Let me land, yeah. We've got Nkuku coming back now. He might be on the bench for Newcastle. That's a big lift. You know, we need more goals in this team. We need more clinical threat in this team. You've got Lavia coming back as well.
Brilliant.
Balloon Boy's back. You know what I'm saying? Balloon Boy's back and that. Yeah, you've got Lavia. Nkuku, innit?
Oh, is he going to be on the bench?
Yeah, potentially be on the bench for Newcastle.
Has he been training this week though?
He's been in training. He was in group training.
Group training. He'll be on the bench more likely then.
He was in group training. Apparently, he took part in a few drills, but they're gonna like review him the next few days to see in it if he'll be ready. But it looks like he's gonna be ready for Newcastle, right? You got Lavia coming back. So now we need to just start climbing up the table, man. Like, there's no more
on Tuesday. That's got a big game for them as well.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting us to go to Newcastle and beat them. It's not going to be an easy game. I think Eddie Howe's definitely going to have them well drilled. They're going to know what they're doing in it. Look what they did against you lot, with their C team, or whatever it was. So they're going to have.
When we go there next week, yeah, I'm not even going to say too much right now. I'm going to jinx it. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch.
So I'm not taking them lightly. I don't think it's going to be like an easy game. I still think they're going to be patterned enough to defend in a way, but I think that our quality is going to be too much for them, man. We have to beat them. We have to start picking up these wins now, man. We're 10th, like I've said. So, yeah, I'm expecting us to beat Newcastle this weekend, man. I can't lie.
You know what? I think that's a bold statement. Away from home, you've actually not been too sad. I thought it's probably better than your home form. I was looking at it anyways. You got good away form. Yeah. But I'm going to look at towards Rory. I'm looking at players that Chelsea that need to step up to the plate. As Don wants his 3 points, then bar the Man City game, which I think is a different entity in itself. Like, we need to start seeing consistency from some of the big hitters. You could say the big hitters, but you could also the more expensive signings. Your Enzo Fernandez of the world and your Caicedos, for what we know. Like Enzo, I would still say he needs to put in, like, he really needs to get grips. He actually had a good game against Brazil, to be honest. Like, being totally honest. But other than that whole massive conundrum that happened and whatever, yeah, some players need to step up for Chelsea, don't you think? Like, still, regardless, consistency.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say even 100% the likes of Enzo need to step up. I think if you're getting, and people say, look at different stats and stuff, but if you're realistically getting outperformed by Conor Gallagher and you cost 115 million, you got to step up. And people give him excuses that other players don't get.
Conor Gallagher's worth 120 million, must you know, English tax.
Well, about now he is, probably. Chelsea will let him go for 30 and then buy him back in a year for 120. But Enzo has to step up. He's given excuses that other players don't get about how he needs better players around him. He needs this, that, and the other. Like the best players. Yeah. So he needs to step up. But I also look at players like Sterling, who cost a fair amount of money when they got him, had an awful season last season, and there have been games this season where he's looked unreal. But he doesn't do it consistently. And that's the thing that I think they're going to have long-term issues with, is that your players like Sterling, your players that are going to be your starting attackers, they've got to be doing it week in, week out. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. And for me, I could see this game being a 0-0. Because I think Newcastle will look at it and go, Champions League midweek, low on numbers, let's just sit in, defend. Chelsea can't, or have struggled against low blocks. Let's just make it a rough, horrible game and get out of there with a draw. And
just on that,
that's
Rory.
gonna
Yeah,
be
just on
annoying.
that. Yeah, I know that. I know that, you know, there's a narrative that Chelsea struggle against low blocks, yeah. But honestly, bro, like every team that we've faced this season with a low block, we create chances against them. Like at the beginning of the season, it wasn't the greatest of chances, I'll be real. Some of them should have been buried. Like if you remember the game against Forest where Jackson literally missed an open goal, yeah, that was terrible, right? But against Brentford, bro, yeah, they play a low block. And in the first half, we should have been at least 2 goals up within, what, 20 minutes or something like that? Do you know what I mean? If you lot had the chances that we had, Trossard is burying that, bruv. Do you get it? Saka is burying it. So it's not that we struggle against low blocks the whole 90 minutes. It's just that when we do get those chances, we end up missing them. Then the other team, opposition, score against us, and then it's peak from there. We can't do anything after that. We go down, and now we're chasing the game. Do you know what I mean? If we come out against Newcastle, we start off really well, score early in the game, or we go into the second half and we're winning, Newcastle will have to come out and play, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? To try and get something. Otherwise, it'll be peak for them. We're just gonna leave there with 3 points. So I don't fully agree that we struggle against low blocks like throughout the whole game. We do get chances.
Would you?
Don, what's your barometer for not struggling? Like, as in, like, are you? Because it's almost like the thing is the underlying numbers that you had with Potter were good. You've had good underlying numbers a number of times. It seems like only this time you're happy with the good underlying numbers because you know you can't sack the manager. Like, you know, you can't sack your manager now.
I'm not.
So you have to adopt these underlying numbers. So when people are saying you struggle against low blocks, it's because the points differential from those games isn't that high. So we can't just give you the points because like the mathematics, the working out was pretty good. You got to get the correct answer. So to me, this is like, regardless of you drawing 4-4 with City, that's a 4-2 game, really. If Diaz doesn't slide on the floor like an idiot, if Gavardiol keeps his feet, like, you conceded 4 goals at home.
Yeah, but
exactly. There's ifs on both sides. I don't get this logic. There's ifs on both sides.
There was a deflected goal of Rodri as well.
The deflected goal of Rodri. If that didn't deflect, if we had, you could do the same thing for both teams. Like, that's silly logic.
You could say that it was a very good game, even game. But what I'm saying is, you did give up 4 goals at home,
and we scored 4 goals as well. Don't forget that we scored 4 goals too.
You can't do that.
All I'm going to say is, I need to see you guys actually, you know, win. Like, obviously,
that's why I'm saying
Spurs doesn't count. You know what I mean? We killed
ourselves. Spurs doesn't count. That's not our problem.
We killed ourselves. You fed off the carcass. Don't worry about that. But let's see you beat a team 11v11 head to head. Let's see it. I think you didn't beat Arsenal, you didn't beat Liverpool, yeah. So all these teams that you're playing, you're not beating any of them apart from us, who killed ourselves. So let's see.
I think what I mean with the low block, Don, is, and you're right, against a lot of those teams, you did create decent chances that you didn't put away, but you still probably only created like 3-4 good chances against those teams.
Should be enough at this level, man. That's more than enough at this level, man.
Oh, I 100% agree. That's where you need to look at your Jacksons and Sterlings and the rest of them. But I think Newcastle will look at it and go, well, if Bournemouth can sit in and concede 3 or 4 good chances, we can sit in at home and concede 1 or 2 good chances. And they'll go, if we concede 1 or 2 good chances across 90 minutes, is Jackson burying one of them? Is Sterling burying one of them? And they'll look at it and think, probably not. On the balance of statistics, probably not.
Action Jackson's got a little bit of confidence right now. He's 6 goals. So
I want to step in there a little bit because I don't like the if buts and maybe stuff from Jay for one, because you could talk about the Haaland.
Hey.
Let me land.
I'm Chelsea beating the top 10 team.
Outside of Jay, let me land.
I know, but just answer me that question when you finish landed.
Fine. So what's the question?
My question is, have Chelsea beaten a top 10 side in the Premier League apart from Tottenham this season?
I'm going to be, all right, if I'm being totally, well, then you've already done it, then yes, they have. Other than Tottenham, if I'm going to be fair to Chelsea, Chelsea, they're a brand new team with a brand new manager, with everything brand new. And I know they spend a lot of money. Look, I will always joke about that. I will forever joke about that. But when you're talking about giving it to the best teams in the league in terms of Chelsea and Arsenal, even if it's at their gaff, you could say Arsenal, they got hard done by. You could say maybe even against City, they got hard done by in a sector. Maybe that deserved a draw. Against Liverpool, you could say they got hard done by a little bit too, because they were dominating and they didn't finish their dinner, really. So if I'm going to say anything, when it comes to Chelsea playing against the bigger sides, and we only know this from their home games.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know they haven't, so no, they haven't. But in theory, they're keeping up considering how
They're
brand new
capable of, but let them do it first.
but the one thing I'm going to say is now away from home is a new thing for me. But all I know, they're better away from home. Newcastle, though, when you talk about low blocks, I don't know if Newcastle this season doing low blocks. If anything, they're trying to fly against teams. They just defend really well, solid, and they break quite easily, and then always up in the opposition third. So the way I look at it, if Chelsea are going to have any fun right now, it might be against the Newcastles. They can match the energy. Can they match the physicality is another question. And I'm going to say from here, probably not. But in terms of technical ability, as Dom was alluding to before, they probably have Newcastle that side, but that's never been Newcastle's game anyways. Yeah. And Newcastle right now are fully rested.
Yeah.
Other than Bruno Guimaraes, I think, is fully rested, like majority of their players. And people need to understand that this game might, on paper, sounds probably more suited to Chelsea, but that's on paper. Now, we got to see it to believe it.
But Kaz, you made a great point, and I want to flip this back to Dom and Rory in a second, but a great point that you made about Chelsea. One thing is that their physicality, their capacity to run, has been very good. And it's kind of shown in the last few games. They played Tottenham side that like to have the ball. We can run, but Chelsea kind of outran us in that game. Against City, they were running through City. They had that physicality, but you ain't going to outrun Newcastle. That's the team that you're not going to outrun. So the one thing that we're going to get from Newcastle is match physicality, match aggression, match sprinting, working hard.
Hey, so Cass, run up the clip, man. Who we've got in midfield. I think it's forgotten. Run up the clip right now, man. Run it.
See how they play against and the rest of it. Do you know what I mean?
Run it, bro.
Excel bully off the ball, Gallagher.
But don't
Excel bully off the ball, Gallagher. Let me just tell you.
Yeah? That's who we've got in that midfield, yeah? That guy's a ball winner. Serious one as well, yeah? Do you get it? Like, we can match up. Listen, when it comes to energy, you've had Poch, Jay. You understand how Poch works. This guy wants his team running, and pressing. We press the hell out of teams, right? And we come out and play. And we play our game when we've got the ball as well. So, what that point that you've made, bro, I'm not worried about it. I don't see Newcastle running more than us, in all honesty. I think we're going to take it to them. I think it's going to be a good game.
One thing I will say, though, the confidence you have, though, Don, is brazen.
That's why I always say, Kaz, the confidence he has for his team being 10th is it needs to be bottled and sold. So, you know, when people get that imposter syndrome and stuff, just splash a little bit of Don's cologne around yourself.
Do you know what I'm confident about, Jay? I'm confident, yeah. I'm confident that my team will come out and play our game. The only thing that I'm not confident about in this team right now is our finishing. That is the only thing that I've got a question about. Our midfield works well. Our defense.
I respect your confidence, Don. It's like I respect it. Like you stood on.
I was told.
I can't lie, Don.
I was told against Arsenal we're not gonna come out and play our game. Yeah, Roms and Ty were telling me this. Roms is listening as well, and I said we're gonna come out and play our game. We did. I was told against Man City we're not gonna come out and play our game. We did. So I'm confident enough that my team will come out and play. Right? It's just finishing. Like Rory said.
It's just insane.
Hold on, Jay. Yeah. Like Rory said, we are very inconsistent in front of goal. When Sterling is hot, he is hot. Like no one can get near him. When he's cold, that is grenade football right there. The ball just bobbles off of him. He's playing like he's a reserve player. Do you know what I'm saying? So that is the only thing that I'm not that confident on. But in terms of how we play, I'm confident about that.
Don, the one thing I would say is like, I think that if I was an alien, right? And I came down from space and I hadn't been watching football and I heard Don talking about his team and I didn't know where his team was in the league. I just heard him talking. If I looked at the table and I saw Don's team was 10th, do you know how shocked I would be because of the words coming out of his mouth versus the position where his team is? I appreciate the confidence. I respect it. But I just think you've got to let your team show you that they're capable of going to a team like Newcastle away and win. Newcastle away is one of the hardest games you're going to play in the league. And you're talking like it's, I don't know, like we're going Bournemouth, which you also didn't win at. But my point is that it's a tough game. I appreciate the confidence.
I said that at the beginning. I said it's not going to be, I'm not taking it lightly, even though they're missing all these players because Eddie Howe is going to set them up well. But again, we have more quality than them right now. That is my opinion, right? We should be beating them. I would just say
yeah, you're not outrunning them, Don. I'm sorry. They have got Brexit footballers. They got Longstaff and people like that. You are not. You've got one of them in your starting lineup. Yeah. In terms of physicality, Reece James being back is a huge boost, and we don't know what's going to go over their left wing. We don't know who's going to go up front, and that's where it comes to me. How was Newcastle going to get their goals? It was quite evident against Bournemouth, and so forth. Even against Arsenal as well. You could say, where is the goals really coming from? So yeah, so like that's the only thing I would question on them. But in terms of outrunning the Brexit FC, actually the way for it is no chance. Not for me anyways. But
no, the issue is Don. You're carrying your confidence from the Arsenal game and the City game, which are two games that you drew. You bottled a 2-0 lead in one of them. You conceded 4 in the other, and both of them were at home. Now you're going away to St James's Park, so you're carrying a lot of confidence from those games into
some good
into
points
Newcastle
there, Rory.
away.
Some good points.
Yeah, no, Rory, you're right. You're right. But end of the day, like I've said, we should be beating Newcastle now. There's no excuses. I'm not running away from the fact that we've got good players. I'm not. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not an excuse. Just because we're 10th right now, I'm sorry, it doesn't paint the picture of a lot of our performances this season. You know, our main problem is finishing these chances. If we play like how we did against Man City, which we should be doing, right, and we finish our chances, we'll win the game. In my opinion, we'll win the game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something similar to the Arsenal game that we saw. In my opinion, I think it's going to be maybe a little bit dry.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's a 3 o'clock kickoff again. That is absolutely absurd. When that's probably, if not the second best game of the weekend. Don't understand. Don't you dare say Tottenham Villa. So yeah, man, it'll be a great game. Someone else that's also got maybe a tough fixture away from home, Man United. But I'm not here to talk about Man United as a total. It's what they got coming back. Lisandro Martinez is back from injury. He's actually in individual training, so you could probably see him in some boots soon. People don't know Terrell Malacia as well. He's coming into group training. Eventually, apparently, he's going to be doing that by Monday, maybe even Friday, is the rumors. And Luke Shaw's back. Højlund is also back, but he probably won't be fit enough for the weekend. It would make sense. I wouldn't want to risk it anyways. And other than that, it's a lot of injuries are starting to come back for certain teams that had injuries at the start of the season. So yeah, man, but I wanted to ask you guys, as much as these injury boosts are back, with Luke Shaw's going to play at centre back, left back, or Lisandro when he eventually comes in the next couple of weeks, might feature against Chelsea, maybe. I highly doubt it though. Would you say this is going to make much of a difference?
It has to.
Man United.
I'm skeptical, man. I can't even lie.
So
I think it has to. I think you're in a lot of trouble. If it doesn't make a difference, then you're in a lot of trouble. Because the one thing that people have kind of been able to say for Ten Hag or in his defense has been injury crisis. So many injuries. If you start bringing back those players and the performances don't increase and the results don't improve, I think then there's trouble. And they've got some big games coming up as well. And they've got to be integrated. You know, Luke Shaw's not played in, 3 months? He's not just going to drop back in and be at full flow. So it's tough.
And he wasn't even that good before he got injured. You know what I mean? Same thing as same thing as Martinez as well. He wasn't that good before he got injured. I know he was playing with a broken foot, technically. But we don't know how he's going to recover, you know? That's the one thing about injuries like that, bro. You might be fit physically, but mentally, bro, you're thinking, yo, I can't go into that sort of challenge.
So what about
what about
Nkunku then?
No, you're right in saying that. I do have the same sort of thing with Nkunku as well. We'll have to see. But end of the day, before Martinez got injured again, he was crap. And same thing as Luke Shaw. He wasn't great. So I'm skeptical about what players we're gonna see when they come back in it. I don't think they're gonna do a madness. You know, I don't think they're gonna be that good to get you lot top 4. In my opinion, you know,
I think timeout depending on I think three months or less. I expect a certain level of hitting the ground running. Longer, 6 months plus, I'm like, okay, they might need some time to get back in the swing of it. But a big thing is obviously Lisandro, Shaw, they're big players for United, you know, and as much as I like to cook Ten Hag and stuff like that and say certain things about style of play and pragmatism for getting results. What he also does, from my point of view, is he does this thing where he has been missing his first choice defense a lot this season, and you do have to context that with Lisandro build up and Lisandro playing with an injury and stuff like that. So whilst they have been deeply, deeply unimpressive, Man United this season, you do have I have to apply context to Spurs having no Van de Ven and Romero at the moment. So it would be unfair for me to not allow Man United to have the same context of having no Lisandro and no Varane or no.
I think you can't play Varane if you don't have a fullback that's capable. I think you need three, at least two. Like, this is what I mean. I think with Luke Shaw and Lisandro is probably the biggest boost out of all of it, because then Varane can play, in my opinion, because Varane's a bit awful on the ball. He's not as great, and you need people that can step in and do that and fill in. Like you hide someone's weaknesses. The way I look at it, Lisandro and Luke Shaw are quite good in build up. So that's what I would obviously. That's why I say it's probably a bigger boost. I think Man United's issue is sometimes it's not really creating chances. You can't finish them either. It's getting the ball from the back, going forward quick enough without having to play long ball. That's my annoyance, is play from the back. But obviously, and that's why I said I like the thought of Malacia coming back, because if he wants to play the inverted thing that he's trying to do this year, Malacia is perfect for it then. But at the same time, Luke Shaw's probably just better with the ball carrying. And I'd want him to slot in that left centre back straight away. Get Lindelof out. Because Luke Shaw kind of makes sense if he's next to Maguire, but I'm not going to knock Maguire. I think Maguire's been okay, but his best is still average, in my opinion. And when you think of Man United right now, you got to think Everton away next, Newcastle away next week, Chelsea at home midweek after that. Definitely going to beat them. And then Man United versus Bournemouth. Man United need to, legit, if Man United want to get respect, you need to at least get 3 wins out of 4 of those games.
It's
Everton,
tough. And you got important Champions League games in that as well, right?
Yeah,
in the midweek.
I'm not joking. I don't care about it. Bin it off. I don't want Europa League. I don't want none of that. I want the 1 game a week like these, man. That's what needs to happen. The thing is, even if Man United got through that group somehow, magically or whatever, and you probably they do need to get 2 wins to make sure of that, mate.
So you man about to pull up what you play Everton away?
Yeah, I think right now it's probably the best.
You're playing them, yeah. You're playing Everton after they've had the points deduction and whatnot.
That's exactly what you know what is. Get 1 goal, they're deflated. That's what it is. It's one of them. You're going to be geared up for it. But I've seen this story before, bare times. Yeah. They're geared up for the game. You score against them, deflation. Done. Yeah. It's done.
You guys aren't scoring though. You got 1 goal in the attack.
Away from home, we're more solid than we are at home. So a bit like you guys.
Do you not like when I've been watching Everton this season? I've been very impressed. I've been actually, you're like impressed. And now they've got a fit Calvert-Lewin, rocking Goodison Park, chip on their shoulder.
Their fans are going to be rocking, bro. It's going to be rocking.
The thing is,
it's a cash money defeat for Man United. Like I'm saying, the Premier League script writers are like, yes, an excellent book this time. They're ready for you, man. They're ready for you. And they're ready for you, guys.
If we're going off of it, Everton's their form's been hit and miss, but recently it's been quite good, to be fair, in that. But when it comes to their home games, other than beating Bournemouth, they've been shocking at home. It's away from home where they're a lot better. It suits them more. It kind of suits long ball for Sean Dyche and whatnot. So I would say so there. But am I scared of Everton?
Are you scared of this game? Rather than being scared of Everton, are you scared of this game specifically?
Not really. No. I think it's a perfect moment for Man United. I think you got to hit them where it hurts. You get 1 goal early. I think it hurts them badly. I'm not a fan of defense. You know what it is? They can have the runners all they want in the midfield, but the technical ability of it is awful. It's just maybe as much as ours. One thing I know, we always have a good record when we go to Goodison. Typically, it's not really a high scoring game either. It's their defense and their goalkeeper for me, which is always like, yeah, you know what? That might actually be suited to us a little bit more.
I think it's the worst time for you to play them, because the one thing that United for a long time, especially under Ten Hag, have struggled away at big atmospheres, and you're picking them on what would probably be the loudest game of the season.
Goodison is not a loud atmosphere. There's a mass. It's not. It always sounds rocking at the start and it goes flat. It always goes flat.
But if you score. If you don't score and they're in the game, but the thing is, why I say it suits Man United because they play long ball suits Man United a lot more, because Man United can't play against footballing teams.
that's why I say it suits Man United a lot more than people think.
So, Cass, they've actually created more big chances than you this season.
Well, yeah, when you got Calvert-Lewin up front to flipping, you got to say what's counted as a chance these days. Whipping in the ball and getting your noggin on it a little bit is still counted as a chance.
They're actually sitting sixth right now. You lot are eighth in terms of big chances created. It's only by a few. It's only by a few. But yeah,
mental, isn't it?
Don't take them lightly. Don't take them lightly. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. But yeah, man. Other than that, that's probably done for today. Anyways, big up Rory, big up Don, big up Jay. If you want anything to shout out, let me know.
Actually, wait, hold on. No, sorry. They're sitting on 9. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong season. This season they're 9th. Big chances created. United are on your 11th. So they're still creating more big chances than you.
Okay. I love Don. I love you because you've become an alternative facts guy. You're like now that Chelsea are doing great stuff on XGs and XAs, tables. All of a sudden, you turn into a fucking data scientist.
Now, do you know what it is though, Jay? Do you know what it is though? With me, bro, I use stats as a secondary thing, innit? And I'm like, when I watch Everton,
so well for you, aren't they, Don?
Bro, when I watch Everton this season, like I've said, I've seen a big improvement from last year. They're actually creating chances, but again, they don't bury them. That's their main. That's one of their big issues right now. So even that Beto guy, he's impressed me a few times. I've watched him as well. Beto, he's looked alright a few times. I've watched him, to be fair. But you're talking about algorithms. I need Everton to turn up, man, and collect all three.
I mean, if Chelsea lose, Liverpool lose, or Man City, don't really matter which way. And Man United, bro, yeah, man, bring it on, man. There's algorithms everywhere. Tottenham,
there's half of the Premier League top teams this weekend
are under threat.
Games. Yeah, there's no chance the top 6 are leaving this weekend unscathed. It's just not happening.
Spurs got Villa, and to be fair, Villa's away record is awful. But the one team they're going to turn up against is definitely Tottenham's. With whatever they go
listen. Let's not. We haven't got enough time in the show to discuss Watkins and Diaby versus Dyer and Davies.
I'm after Captain Watkins. I'm after Captain Watkins, bro.
Yeah, it's like I know, but
Watkins is kind of my captain, boy.
What you scoreline prediction wise? Liverpool and City. What are you guys?
3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, I want that. That's what I'm speaking into existence.
I think City are gonna beat them, man. Just because Liverpool lack of that DM, man. Of that DM. I think City. Where is it? Etihad. I think City will do them 3. Let's say I'm gonna say 3-1. 3-1 Man City.
What are we saying about Spurs Villa?
Go on, Rory.
Spurs are at home.
I can't lie. Villa are getting 3 goals minimum.
Yeah, Villa 4, Spurs 1.
I can see it. I can see it. Eric Dyer.
I need that, bro. I need that. That's gonna hit like crack, bro. If that was to happen, Rory, yo.
Who's the next Dyer? Is that Hotspur?
Holding 4 to Villa.
Hotspur.
There's many things that are going to happen in this world, but us holding 4 to Villa.
Well, Davies. Eric Dyer and Davies. Oh my days. On transition, you man are going to get killed.
We were still beating Wolves in
Wait,
that defeat has really changed the narrative on us.
Are you missing Basuma?
Basuma's suspended as well.
John
John is done. No Basuma, no Van der Ven, no Romero, no Madison. Your spine is gone, G. Your spine is done out.
It is, bro. Like
you got to come up against energetic McGinn, Diaby, Watkins. Control the midfield. Honestly, I can't lie. It might be, and the way you play it might be the way it just seems too good to be true.
And look at Jay's face. He's deep in it.
Oh my word!
Hey, Jay's actually deep in it now. Hey, Jay, you killed me, man. You killed me.
What's it called? What about Destiny?
That's why we cast. Bro, that's why when Cass said Villa, I just laughed because I'm thinking,
is Destiny back?
Destiny's back.
Oh, all right, cool.
Doji's back.
Oh my! We're trying to say this. Let me tell you now, Doji, watch, he's getting sent off again. Watch, I'm telling you now, Diaby's going to get him sent off. He's going to kick him first. He's going to get a yellow card in the first 20 minutes of Doji, innit? I'm telling you that now. He's going to kick my man.
Is it 3 p.m. kickoff?
Nice. Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, so I can actually watch this one properly. Say less.
Deji is on Saturday night. Deji's on Saturday night, and he's on that Sunday night on Never a Thousand. What? I can't wait, fam. I can't wait.
Listen, you guys need to respect us a little bit. I know, the wheels have fallen off a little bit.
A little bit.
A little. We've got a couple of punctures. Got a couple punctures, and it looks like we're veering off the roads. But we are very talented drivers. Just keep an eye on what's going on, and I think we'll. Moving on.
He doesn't believe it.
You don't even believe you don't even believe what you're saying, man. So the whole point. The whole point is, Spurs have got my. Nah, it's not about what if Ange does anymore. Yeah, if Spurs with the 11, I respect. Spurs without majority of the 11, I do not respect it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's same with Man United or Chelsea without all that.
Ange isn't telling Dyer to just kick the ball off the pitch before Wolves got their that goal that they scored, that lovely goal that they got.
I love that. Lamina, man.
Lamina.
Sometimes you get goals, and I'm not here to pick.
You're about to get 3 losses in a row, G. You know it, innit?
Could have done things better, but
it's gonna be sensational.
Listen, don't worry. We're gonna beat Villa. We have, because the thing is
look at the incentive they've got as well. They're literally right behind you, bro. They're right behind you.
Guess who you've got? You've got
City. I know, bro. We've got City away there. Newcastle.
No. This is what they've got. Yeah, they've got Villa at home, and we're saying Villa are gonna beat them. Yeah, they got Man City away where they're not gonna win. They got West Ham to come out their gaff, which is a rival in itself. And I think Romero should be back for that game at least, so it'll be a decent game. Then they got Newcastle. I'm telling you now, and you got Forest away. Good luck. That's what I'm saying. Good luck.
This is an incentive as well, Jay. You know, they're a point behind you, bro. I didn't even see this. This is what I'm liking this table in front of me now. I can actually see what's going on there.
What do you mean, bro? Listen,
they're a point behind you, my bro.
You need to be catching up so you can get those Europa League places, bro. You don't want that gap to open. Relax.
Don't worry about us, man. Hey, the league don't finish in November. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So. Yeah.
No. To be fair, it's a horrible. Now, listen, football is it's a humbling sport, and it's not. I'm just looking at this from the point of view of saying, yes, these games look crap, but once Romero's back, so from West Ham, that's 3 of our 4 back line. Like, I expect us to be able to get results with 3 out of our 4 defenders. It's just the next 2 games. Like,
how much
City just needs to. We need to play City like Chelsea did. Just go balls out attack. Be like, right, you need to score at least 3 or 4 goals to get a result here, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see how we get in, but let's not pretend that Spurs didn't get 3 manager of the months in a row. It's been 2 games. I expect Spurs to rebound. Like, let's see what Ange is about now. Yeah, he hasn't got everybody. Yeah, he hasn't got ideally what he needs. Let's see how adaptable he is. Let's see whether he can.
Rory's about to kill some dreams. Go on,
land. Cass, have you seen this thing? David Ornstein's just tweeted that you might lose Aaron Wan-Bissaka to the African Cup of Nations.
Huh? Yeah, he's going Congo.
He could represent Congo.
I think he should. I think it's I think he should.
He's not going to play for England.
You know what it is? I think international experience is very valuable. Will Congo go through probably a lot of these stages? Probably not. They're not the greatest, but I would back them, to be fair, a little bit. If we've got a little bit. No, I think I don't mind that. You know what? AFCON.
All I remember is Balassi.
Let me check who they got in the fixtures. No, they got you, man, in it. Zambia, no?
They've got us.
Yeah, they got you.
I didn't even know that.
They're doing all right at the moment. They got a win and they got what's it called, and they got a loss. They're doing all right, but I think Senegal is going to go through, and Sudan. You know what? I can't lie. Sudan looks all right defensively. They look solid, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, but yeah, man. I big up to Wan-Bissaka, man. But we'll see. Even if he does go, we ain't been playing with him for most of the season, anyways.
Yeah.
True.
And a lot of these players, you remember, it's through international. I swear, part of it's through international break. A lot of the later stages, so it's not like no one's really missing out.
Yeah, I think it's only 2 Premier League games that you miss out.
Yeah, it's not. It depends who you got. You know what? Let me check.
So it's from. So the tournament runs from the January 13th to February 11th. So it's whoever you've got between Jan 13th.
Oh wait, there's no international break there. Shit. Oh.
No, but there's a winter break. The Premier League takes a winter break.
Oh yeah, between
and then one weekend's FA Cup weekend, I think. So.
Oh yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky. We got Tottenham. We got. Did you say the 12th of January? Yeah.
Yeah, well, 13th of January to the 11th of February.
We've got Tottenham at home, which is calm. Then we've got Wolves away, which might hurt us because there's a 2-week period there. Then you said till Feb the what?
11th.
11th. Then we've got West Ham at home, which is okay. The only thing we're gonna might miss out is obviously Aston Villa away will be very, very tough. So yeah, man, it might be all right. Some of you guys in here's got City, so that's all I'm saying. But yeah, man, we're gonna wrap up there in a bit. Thank you for everyone that has liked the video, nearly on 150 likes and stuff like that. I know it's not the greatest at the moment. A lot of people are bored of international break. Yeah, it's understandable, but we're back tomorrow. We don't do much on Thursday nights. So we're back tomorrow, 2 content per day, and then yeah, man, we'll go from there. But big up, does any of you want anything to shout? Social?
Nah. You know, it's all right. It's all like I'll be back to the chest if we beat Villa next week. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about me this week.
Oh yeah, we'll hear about it Tuesday. Tuesday.
That's what I'm gonna say. In fact, let me hide my Twitter username so they can't find me. Just in case.
I'm gonna find you in a space. Don't worry, bro.
What about you, Don? Are you saying that is there any chance that you lose to Newcastle? Any whatsoever? Just to be clear, Don. Just
listen, Chelsea right now. There's
very chestily, like Johnny Bravo earlier, but now it's a little bit more like, wow, you know.
Nah. Listen, I'm done with running away, man. People need to realize who we are.
Okay.
Who we are right now. I haven't run away once this season. Once.
All right, Kanye. Kanye.
We need to beat them. We need to beat them. We need to beat these lot.
Okay. I hear that.
There's no excuses. We have to beat them. We must. We must.
Yeah. All right, you must. That is the question. You lot must. All right, in a bit.